Good morning, everyone. My name is Chad Wilson, and this is a video made for our ENGI 2304 class. Now, we are just past Thanksgiving, and we are on the last week of classes. You've already submitted your recommendation report, and now you're working on your recommendation presentation. This is the final presentation, acts like a final exam in the class. Now, the requirements for this presentation are that it should be 8 minutes long, and that's a maximum, so don't go over 8 minutes. And you should take a video of yourself standing next to a computer, so it can be next to your desk. The computer can be down lower, it's okay. Just have the computer a little bit behind you and to your side so we can kind of see it. We don't need to see it exactly because you'll also be submitting your PowerPoint files to the Assignments tab. And I believe it's called Final Presentation or Recommendation Report Presentation. I can't remember the exact name. And then you will take the video of yourself and make it one take. Don't edit it, okay? Don't splice it or anything like that. It should be a single take as if it were you giving a presentation to the class. Upload that video to YouTube and make it unlisted, not private, unlisted. Okay, make it an unlisted video. And that way you can submit the link to the notes part of the assignments tab where you submit your PowerPoint files. And under those notes, I can highlight the link, copy it, and paste it, and watch your video and evaluate you. So I want to go over briefly here only the ways that you cite sources in a presentation. Now, you know for writing, the general rule for citations is that anything does not come from your head probably needs to be cited. And I say probably. We've talked about what's common knowledge and how to define that. So if it's not common knowledge and it doesn't come from your head, it should be cited. Now, the rules for papers are very strict. You're going to follow your major society's guidelines. For most engineering disciplines, it's either a numbering system or an author date system. So not the MLA system, which uses author and page number. Because engineers don't quote, they don't need the exact page number. But for the author date and the numbering system, the in-paragraph citation is just author and date or just a number, and there'll be an end of the paper bibliography or works cited list that will have all of them either numbered in order that they appear or alphabetically by whatever is in that author date citation. So that's for papers. Now for presentations, you can do the same thing. You can have numbers next to your images and next to your data, and then have an end of the presentation works cited list as a separate slide. But it doesn't have to be quite that formal. You don't have to do that. Part of the problem with doing that is that no one ever gets to their citation list, or they'll just say, and here are my citations, and then click off, and the presentation's over. So we really don't get to look at them. And when I see your image or your data, I may wonder, oh, what is that from? But I don't know. I can't even see it. I've got to wait until you get to the end of your presentation before I can even see it, if you even show it to me long enough. And maybe I have to make a note, oh, that was number 3, and then I need to see it at the end. So I actually don't like that kind of system, but it is standard in engineering, okay? The standard in engineering is to follow the model for reports, which is the formal end of the paper or end of the presentation works cited list or bibliography. But it doesn't have to be done that way. It can be much more informal. So I want to give you some examples. I want to show you on my computer, and I know it's not great when you look at my computer. It's not perfect because it's a little fuzzy the way the way the images work. Filming images doesn't work that well, but we're gonna do the best we can. So I'm gonna show you that now and show you some other ways you can do it. Okay. So here is an example, and this I use this when I talk about the ABT method, the and, but, therefore method of crafting a story in a presentation. And when I do that, I say that I took it from this book called Houston, We Have a Narrative by Randy Olson. And I actually show the book. I show the cover of the book. Now, would I have to cite this image? Well, remember that anything that's in your presentation that you did not make, you should give credit and not take credit. So anything that you didn't do should be cited. But if it's a promotional piece, like a book cover or a poster for a movie, that kind of thing, if it's a promotional piece, you often don't have to cite it. It's going to be the same no matter what, no matter where you find it. This book cover doesn't change. And even though I didn't take the picture or, make the digital image, it's a promotional piece and they don't mind me using it because it helps promote the book. So I officially don't have to cite it. So I didn't. But many times you wouldn't need to do this kind of book cover because you wouldn't be using something out of a whole book. You wouldn't be using large parts of it, so you wouldn't need to do this. So let's look at some other ways. Here, for example, this is an image I took from this particular website. Now, do I care that you know where I got this particular image from? I really don't. I'm just trying to tell you that I didn't do it. I didn't take it. So I put the citation, I put the URL down here. Do you need to know what ASCO is? No, you're not really examining my data here. All you're doing is saying, oh, okay, he didn't take that photo. Here's where he got it from. It'd be the same for this. I didn't take this, so I put the URL down here. And I don't have a separate works cited list. For this one, I took a statistic from a specific source and I put the source down here. And it's from CBS News. So you can see immediately it's from CBS News. I didn't take it from a researcher. They got it from somewhere, but I just want to say where I got it from. Same with this. I took this from a source. So I give you the source where I took it from. But when I get to an actual piece of writing from a source, I then put the citation. This one I put on the side. It's a little weird. You can see that it's from Basilio et al. And I use the formal citation because people may want to know what it's actually from. And I do that for large references or more academic references. I will actually put the entire reference on the slide that I took that from there. And you could do the same if you were taking data. If you put it in a different form on your website, you could put the citation down there. Same with this. I do the same thing. There's the citation. And I think that works better than the end references because we actually see them right there. We don't need to wait to see which piece of information came from which source. So you have a couple choices. You can follow the formal end reference bibliography, or you can put that directly on the slide. And I think if you're using reference works, academic works, that is the way you'd want to do it, like I showed you there. Or if you're just taking images from places and you want to let your audience know that you didn't take the picture, you didn't make the chart, then you could use a more informal reference and just put the URL right next to the image or right next to the data or whatever it is you're doing. So there are a couple different ways to do it. It's not nearly as formal as the kind of citations that you're used to. So good luck. Remember, everything that is in your presentation or in your report, we think you did it unless you tell us you didn't. And you tell us you didn't by citing it. I look forward to your presentations. Good luck.